October 23rd. The order of business today is approval of a new sound system. We had a committee that has been looking into our sound system, consisted of Mike Richter, Moses, Andrew Moses, Bobby Swar, Pastor Ron, and Aaron Voles. And we appreciate the time that they've spent. We should give them a round of applause. We had two bids. One was from a company in Houston. The bid was for about $47,000 and consisted basically of two big new speakers. We also had a bid from BCI, which is Bayou City Interest, Mike Matthews out of El Campo, Texas. They have put in a lot of sound systems in churches in the El Campo area. They recently put in a new sound system at Riceburg Stadium. The materials they use is very, very much up to date, very high quality materials. He says we do not need new speakers. We just need maybe new mics. They're going to come in and install all of this and have it to where the sound should be a great, vast improvement. If it's not, then we don't owe them anything, basically, is what they're saying. This money that's going to be paying for this is going to come out of the Memorial Fund. The bid that he gave us was $22,201.69. That is just for the sound system here in the sanctuary. We also will have it where it can be mic'd into the fellowship hall. The amount for that is $3,481.88. So that brings us to a total of about $25,683.52. That's over $20,000, and that's the reason why you're here today to vote on this. As I said earlier, the Memorial Fund is going to pay for the $22,201.69. The balance of $3,481.88. Some of that might come from the Memorial Fund after they look at their books. If it doesn't, then it's going to, we either need to have a free will offering or do something, use some monies maybe from, and I know I'm speaking out of turn, but maybe from the open marketplace or something like that to be able to go toward paying for this. Once it's been installed, and I don't think it takes very long to install this, if this amount is paid, this $25,000 is paid within 10 days of us accepting it, say they put it in this next week, and then Sunday we would have a chance to evaluate it. If we're okay with that, if we pay them that company within 10 days, we'll get a 2% rebate of $513.67. I think this is this is why the people give to the Memorial Fund. If there's any questions, I would like for y'all to ask them at this time. Yes?
I just have one. Is there going to be a speaker back here in the dining room so we don't have to leave the door open to listen? Because we can't hear back there.
Bobby, can...
I didn't hear the question.
I can't...
In order to keep peace in the sanctuary, sometimes you like to take the crying baby to the back. But if you close the door, you can't hear anything. It'd be nice if you have to leave the door open, which is still disrupting. Will there be a speaker back there?
Not the existing bid, that we didn't think about that, but it wouldn't be no problem to add another speaker. He just said our existing speakers were good, but I mean, it's not known what the price would be to add another speaker right now.
I was just curious if you had thought about that, because that is one reason we have a crying room, and yet no one can hear in the crying room.
I don't think it'd be very much of a problem to add.
That'll be a question to ask. Fletch?
Will this new system be able to integrate with AV equipment also? Yes.
This is a modern day system that it's used by a lot of, I hate to use the rock bands and stuff like that, but it basically is a system. You can set it over there and turn it on, and Mike, who right now basically sits over and kind of monitors our sound. That was only got 16 input, this one will have 40 inputs, which gives us a lot of room for growth. But you'll be able to go out there, it's an iOS system, you can load it on any iPhone, any iPad, you can sit out there, and the microphone will be able to sit out there in the center. He can regulate the sound, sitting where you're sitting, if you can't hear well, he can turn up those last speakers right there in that area. It's just, it beats any system we looked at. It's if you go to your Apple phone and you type in Midas M32 Live, you'll see the apps that come with the system. It's just everything we had Mark Paulbeck look it over because he's kind of a sound guy, and we had Aaron look it over, and then we also had Tommy Perkins look it over, and all these guys said this was a top-notch system. And I think one of our problems with our other system, as we started adding things to it, we kind of added this one, we ended up, and we added this one, we added that one. None of our systems are real good and compatible with. All of these, this is a full-fledged from the start system where everything is compatible. Either using Shure or Midas or there's one other brand in there, I'm not really what the name is. But all of them are compatible. It includes new headsets for Patron and
All the mics.
all the mics, two new mics up there for the choir. It's everything except those speakers.
Mark, can I say one thing? Joey was asking about the speaker terminal. If that thing, that board is wireless, you can try to get it, even a Bluetooth, if it gets too much for one extra speaker. You can try to get a Bluetooth speaker to put it back there.
That's why I said, I need to be very efficient, and have Bluetooth speaker in there. Right, yeah.
Bobby, also in addition, we were talking about adding speakers to the fellowship hall. So granted, I know that's the crime room, but you can also, there's going to be the chance of taking them to the fellowship hall and everything can be heard from there.
Yeah, because our existing fellowship hall has no speakers in it, so it's going to be all these speakers in there. And so if we told him, maybe we'd like to add one more speaker in there, I don't think it is.
Bob, you're talking about the overhead mics with the wire.
Yes.
Yeah, there's two really nice new ones that pick up sound a whole lot better than those.
We can hear your voice better, Russell.
And one thing, most of these mics, if I understand them, remember right, these mics don't have an on-off switch that you have to remember to flip on and off. The moment you speak into it, it turns on. When you stop talking, it turns off. So you don't have to be fiddling with these on and off switches like our wireless one now.
But you can also mute the pastor at any time.
Sold.
Are there any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this purchase. Yes, Donna?
I just had a question. How many additional mics would you be able to hook up to? I'm just thinking for like the children's program and things like that.
He's already looked at the ones that we already bought, the other systems, and he's already integrated that into the rack system, where the children's part is already going to be able to, I don't know how many mics that is. Okay, well, we can always add, like I said, it's got 40 inputs, where we only got 60 now, so you can add.
Donna, on the new system, it's got 32 actual microphone inputs of itself, so.
Yeah.
Does it have any dead zones?
Should not that what he is telling us, no. And that if we're not satisfied at all, then he'll either fix it or take the system back.
Because a certain time, restaurant turn a certain way.
That's supposed to take that, out of.
Yeah, that's that wireless mic that he uses now, which is the one now that he's gonna get.
They call it cowboy mic.
It's called a cowboy mic, it's top of the line. You're supposed to have to turn your head and jump up and down, whatever you want to do, you know.
Kind of like what you're saying
One other thing, there was a rack system, Bobby, that you had mentioned, that was $350.
Right. It's not in the bid.
It's not included in the bid. There is one included in the bid, but if we're not satisfied with that system, not that I know what a rack system is, but $350 would be the ultimately added on expense. That's the only other thing. There's no other hidden fees. This guy's pretty reputable. I mean, they're satisfied with him, and he's does a good job. So hopefully he'll do that for us.
On that rack system, I just want to clarify one thing. He was going to sell us a desk for it that was almost $5,000. And did you hear one?
Get to the mic, Bobby, I'm sure there's somebody not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, there was a console he was going to sell us that was almost $5,000. That it kind of looked like the organ, basically. It was a roll-top desk, and we just couldn't see spending $5,000 for a roll-top desk. So we talked to him about it, and he had this one that he had ordered for a Catholic church there in El Campo, and they thought it was a little bit too large for what they wanted. It's too tall. Not size-wise, but too tall. So he put it in his warehouse, and he told us, me and Mike, when we went there, that he'd let us have that system with a rack system for $350 just to get it out of his warehouse. So that was kind of a no-brainer to go from $5,000 to $350. And like I said, later on down the line, if we decide we don't like that one, well, so be it. We can buy something then. But for right now, just to get us in a new system and get the price at a good price for the Memorial Committee, this $22,000 bid, it really hit good.
Where is that particular thing gonna be? Is it gonna be down there by the organ or upstairs?
The bid that we got right now is sitting with it right there in that corner right there, because Mike's, one of his complaints, and we got two complaints basically. Andrew wants to be able, when he's here a lot of time by himself, he wants to be able to power it on, and he wants it closed. We talked about the balcony, but that also means another 1,000 foot of wiring to run it up in a balcony. And there's no advantage to having it up there as to having it there, because you can operate it off of an iPad. So anybody sitting in the balcony with a video system can operate this. All you gotta do is walk over to it, power it on, and you can go up in the balcony and operate it off of an iPad, a laptop, even a phone. I was looking at the deals a while ago.
I guess the one question is, if you were trying to do everything up top, if you had to run a CD player, is that accessible from up top as well?
Yes, all through the wireless system, all through our Wi-Fi system. I mean, everything nowadays at your house is basically operating on Wi-Fi and everything, and that's basically the same thing in here. And if we do wanted a wired one, it's only 2 wires. And then he can run, if we feel like we may have a Wi-Fi problem, while he's running that, he can run those 2 wires at that time. But it's supposed to be right over there in that corner. Anything else?
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase. Okay. Keith made it, seconded up top. Steve? Any other question before we vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Now, is this just for one sound system, or is this for both?
This is for both the sound system. This is for here in the sanctuary as well as the fellowship. We're doing both of them together because, number one, we'll get a better deal. This might seem like it's coming pretty quick to ask y'all to do this, but the money is there by the Memorial Fund, and he only can keep this bid for just really, that's the reason why we had to rush to set the meeting up, so that we could take advantage of the bid that he gave us. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Sheila, second. Joanne, all in favor say aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. It's 11:45.
No, no,